is I've just armed long. Was anticipating a little bounce in a minute. So just looking at levels of liquidity on ES and NQ, which we can visualize with Bookmap, and then we'll just arm as we get to those levels if we're anticipating a bounce from there. So if we get there, it doesn't necessarily mean we are going to bounce, but if it is going to hold, the data processing engine and the algorithm that runs within it will be able to predict it with a very high probability that a level will hold or not. So if we do get a trade signal, there's a very high likelihood that we will bounce from there and we'll move in a long direction for a short period of time. You don't know how far it's going to go, but you can predict the short-term movement with a higher probability. So once you get the entry, it's up to you to manage it. So you can either use it to scalp, take a few points, or if you want to hold it for longer, you can, it's up to you. So I'll just show you how to nail the specific entries with high precision. So the actual engine that's running here, I'm going to redact this bottom right corner of the screen because that is proprietary indicator and that's where I'm getting all my signals from. The signals feed back to the execution assistant, which just takes the entries for you. So you can read the indicator and do things manually if you want to, but you need to have fast reaction speed to enter trades as soon as you see a signal. If you use the assistant, it will takes your reaction speed out of it, so your lack of reaction speed doesn't affect your risk to reward ratio. Because if you see a signal and you're getting a little bit late, you already missed out on a few points, and that's detrimental to your risk to reward ratio because it's very precise and you have to be very quick, especially on a tick chart, to respond to it. It's just easier to use the assistant. So I'm just going to arm long. This will time out after 2 minutes as a safety mechanism in case you forget about it. So I've got this 1 minute chart here for reference. You don't actually need candlesticks anymore. You just need level 2 market by order data and the processing engine. So you're not interpreting candlesticks and you're not looking in, you don't never have to look back in past data to try and justify why price is moving the way it is now. This purely comes from order book processing. So we just have to wait until we get to a nice level of liquidity, which you can only see with level 2 full depth market. So liquidity is passive orders resting in the book. So if you only have level 1 data and candlesticks, you can't see where liquidity is. You can predict it being above certain highs or lows, but you cannot actually see it unless you have the market unless you have the level 2 full depth So now you actually know where liquidity is. You know exactly how much is there, and you know when it got entered, which is there. Sometimes we get there and it gets pulled, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay in the book. But if it does get pulled, we know exactly when. So you can see what happens when we get into liquidity. See exactly how much volume is there. That just triggered us into a trade. So I won't go into how this works, but you can see in real time how um, it executes and the kind of risk to reward you can get on these just from getting a very precise entry. So you can see that entered at 26.89. So let's say our stop was behind there. Can measure how far this is going to go. So that's already gone 2 to 1. 3 to 1's there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now obviously we don't know how far it's going to go, but we'll just monitor how many R's potentially we're going to get. So 1, 2, 3, 4 within 2 minutes. Then it's up to you to manage it, so you can just lock in 1 R there if you want to. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 R. 5 in 2 minutes. So you can see how powerful this is, especially if you're scalping just from getting a precise entry. So that one's gone 5R, and it might come back and take us out. No one knows. But what we do know is that the short-term move from these entries is very high probability. So you get that entry and it's going to bounce in the direction of your entry. Depending on the volatility, it can go 5 points, 10 points, 20 points. So that's gone 5R in 2 minutes. If you notice, I'm not justifying this entry from any historical data. doesn't come from anything back here. It just purely came from the order book being processed and quantified by this proprietary um, data processing engine and a few different algorithms in there. So this will just help you nail entries with high precision. Then it's up to you to manage it after. So we made it to 6R. Let's look into 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we get to 10, that would be nice. Yeah, so this, even if it takes us out, we made 2R from that. I think 10R is obviously pretty greedy. You don't have to go that far, but this is just to illustrate the potential from getting a very precise entry. So that went to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so almost 7R in a few minutes. So I'm just trying to illustrate insane risk to reward you can get just from nailing a precise entry, and in a few minutes you're getting up to 7R, and you can get, there's multiple ones of these in the day at pretty much every turning point you can get one. But I'll do some more videos on this throughout the session.